Hi everyone, welcome to What is Digital Citizenship? My name is River and I'm the Graduate Assistant for the ADP Center for Learning Technologies. This is what's on our schedule for today. We will talk about an introduction to digital citizenship. We'll discuss the three components, which include respecting, educating, and protecting, as well as the 9 elements that fall under each one of these. And then we will get into digital citizenship tips, as well as any questions. Okay, so first let's talk about what exactly is digital citizenship. The definition to a digital citizen is a person who has the knowledge and skills to effectively use digital technologies to communicate with others, participate in society, and create and consume digital content. So essentially, it's anyone who uses the internet. And just like we want to make sure that we're being good citizens in the real world, we want to make sure that we are also good citizens in the digital world. And a part of this is, when we're a part of the online world, we want to ensure that we're connecting safely and promoting positive engagement in this community. So some of these components include commerce, health, digital integrity, digital privacy, and all of these have one thing in common, and that is practicing the safe and responsible use of technology. So like I mentioned, there's 9 elements, and these are digital etiquette, digital access, digital law, commerce, literacy, communication, rights and responsibilities, digital safety and security, and lastly, digital health and wellness. Okay, so let's talk about respect. A question to keep in mind as we move through this section is how can I cultivate my digital identity in ways that are responsible and empowering? Okay, so the first part of digital citizenship and respect is digital etiquette. Essentially what this is an electronic standards of conduct or procedure. So just like there's etiquette in the real world, there's also online etiquette. When you talk about etiquette in the real world, that can include dinner etiquette or work etiquette. There's also etiquette online, and we want to make sure that we're digitally fluent in this. So for example, you want to make sure that you're muting during a Zoom call, making sure that you're being cognizant of the noise that is coming from your computer. So that is just one part of having digital etiquette. The second part of respect and digital citizenship is digital access. Being mindful that not everyone has full electronic access in society. An example of this could be a teacher being cognizant that some of your students might not have a laptop or have any access to technology, and creating opportunities for them to have the access and engagement that everyone else does. The last part is digital law. So just like there are rules in the real world, there's also rules in the virtual world, and people can still commit crimes online. So the lesser example of this would be copyright issues or piracy, and then the other end of the spectrum can be more serious crimes. So just making sure that you're still abiding by laws in the virtual world as well. Okay, the next part is education. Question to keep in mind is how much information is out there in the digital world and what can I contribute to improve the results? The first part is digital commerce. So this includes ensuring safety when buying and selling things online. So for example, if a child uses their parents' credit card without permission, there's no consent, right? And this can jeopardize someone's safety. So not only can it impact their bank account, but it can also impact, a person's safety if there's sensitive information being leaked. So that's just keeping in mind and making sure that you're being safe when engaging in any kind of online transaction. The next part of education is digital literacy. So, making sure that you can determine the difference between real and fake content or sources. So, this is especially important in today's society, making sure that you're fact checking the source, especially if you're reading any kind of news or any kind of online resource, making sure that it's credible. And then the last part is digital communication. So Even though you're online, your words still do have an impact. And keeping in mind that if you wouldn't say it in person or face to face, you probably shouldn't be saying whatever you're saying online. So it's important to stay empathetic and be respectful. And an example of this would be messaging in a chat room or engaging in social media, and communicating with integrity. Okay, so the last part of digital citizenship includes protection. So this is definitely important. A question to keep in mind is, how can I use media in safe and healthy ways that give meaning and add value to my life? The first part of protection includes digital rights and responsibilities. So this has two parts. The first part would be to hold yourself accountable for your own actions, making sure that you are being respectful and not harming other people. But then the second part of this is to also remember to protect yourself and others when possible. So an example of this would be, when it comes to hate speech or bullying, making sure that one, you're not engaging in any of that, but also you're protecting yourself and others from these harmful actions. The second part is digital safety and security. So making sure to take electronic precautions to make sure that you're being safe. Um, so keep in mind some of the benefits as well as the risks of engaging in online, participating online. So one part of this is also to make sure that, everything that you post online, it doesn't disappear. Even if you delete it, it could possibly be floating somewhere out there in the virtual world. Um, there actually is a website, and it's called meandmyshadow.org, I believe. Yep, sorry, myshadow.org. And this kind of gives you some background information about how much data is being sold or shared on your behalf, maybe probably without your knowledge. So if you go to this website and you actually click on tracking, you can actually see, if you scroll down to investigate, oops, not there. If you go to trace my shadow, it will show you all of the digital traces that you're leaving behind. So for example, if you're using a computer, if you're using a Mac, it'll show you exactly how many traces that they find. So for example, they found 14 traces if you're using a Mac computer. And then that'll show you, locally, there's a MAC address, a computer serial number, a browser history. But then there's also internet traces. So anytime you're using your credit card, or date and time stamps, as well as emails. So it'll show you exactly how many traces are found, as well as any tips that can promote safety. Okay, so yes, just keeping in mind the benefits as well as the risks when posting and sharing things online. For example, passwords and sensitive information can be leaked, or if you're, signing into an account on a shared device, that information can potentially also be shared on your behalf. And lastly, there is digital health and wellness. So what this includes is ensuring that you are physically and psychologically protected in the digital world. So kind of assessing what's healthy versus what's harmful. You want to make sure that when you're engaging in the virtual world, that you're spending quality time rather than just accumulating screen time. So an example of this could be taking a break from TikTok, right? So you want to make sure that your mental health and physical health is protected. And for instance, if you come home from a stressful day at work and you just want to relax, so you go on TikTok, making sure to give yourself a time limit, right? Maybe you want to stay on for 15 to 20 minutes rather than spending 3 hours on the app through mindless scrolling, because that's very possible and it does happen. So just making sure to put your digital health and wellness first. Okay, so we'll talk about some tips on how to be a good digital citizen. So a good digital citizen is someone who is mindful of their interactions and all that they post and say online. So a couple of tips to be a good digital citizen would be to think before you post. Again, making sure that if it's not something that you would say in person, probably shouldn't be something that you're saying online. Or if you don't want it to be out there forever, maybe thinking twice before you post. Another tip would be to protect and change your password regularly. Sometimes people can hack into your account. So just making sure that no one else has access to your account but you. Checking your privacy settings is also important. So making sure, maybe you don't want everyone to be able to see your Instagram profile. So you change your privacy settings to friends only, um, and just keeping in mind your privacy settings. Next tip is to fact check your information. So, you want to make sure that the information that you're sharing is credible and that it's accurate. So just making sure that you're not spreading false information. Another tip to being a good digital citizen is to report suspicious or illegal activity. It's important, one of the most important things to do, but also it's the one that takes 2 seconds. If you see a video that's troubling or suspicious, all you have to do is just report it and press a couple of buttons. So that is definitely an important tip. But the biggest tip of all, I would say, is just to use common sense and good judgment like you would in the real world. These are just a couple of more safety tips. So one, don't reveal any personal information, especially, if this is geared towards children, making sure that they're not sharing any kind of sensitive information like full name or home address. That is definitely very important. Next is, again, making sure that you're the only person who has access to your password, logging off any computer, especially if it's on a shared device. You know, for children, don't communicate with strangers, making sure your kids aren't talking to random people online. But also, if you're an adult, making sure to remind yourself, that you're communicating with strangers. They're not people that you know in person. And lastly, following the appropriate age limit for social networking sites. So these are all important aspects of digital citizenship. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach us with all this contact information. And thank you so much for joining today. Have a great day.